Hello, beautiful people. I'm Jim McDermott, and we're ready to start the review on Chapter 6. I was about 75% done with my first review, and then my dogs went nuts, and I had to go chase them, so I'm going to try this again. So this is take 2. Okay, now, I got my Red Sox shirt on. I'm feeling pretty good here. Chapter 6, Multi-Product Strategy. Conglomerates will be something we'll be chatting about. Moderate to high levels of diversification is the titles for this chapter. Let's see here, or this section, pardon me. Multi-product strategy was the title of the chapter. Firms using the related diversified multi-product, RDMS is what I'll refer to it from here on. Firms using the RDMS try to create economies of scope where the firm shares some resources and activities between its businesses. Another definition is for the unrelated diversification multi-product strategy, UDMS, from here on. This is UDMS is used when a firm doesn't desire to transfer resources and activities between its businesses or core competencies into its businesses. Firms employing this strategy are often called conglomerate. The UDMS is often used in both developed markets and emerging markets, and it's become quite popular or choice for Latin American countries, China, India, Korea, as example. So, next in my notes, what do I have here? Okay, now, the next thing I want to chat to you about is the multi-product strategies. Cause a business to become more diversified. It helps firms to improve their overall performance by becoming more diversified. The levels of business diversification are in your textbook. I have again at page 126, figure 6.1. You get a nice breakdown. So here we go again. Just like we did with the last chapter, I'm going to give you a scenario and I'm going to give you some choices. I'm going to ask you to select the right choice. Get with me, approach me when you believe you have the right answer, and some type of support for that right answer would be appreciated. Okay, so the example is, or the example question, a large business, we'll just use business X. Business X, all right, less than 70% of sales revenues comes from any one business. And because some resources and activities that are needed to produce and sell products and services in different markets are shared across businesses, Business X is using what multi-product strategy? Are they using the A, related link strategy, or B, the related constrained, or C, unrelated diversification, or D, dominant business? So let me know. Go over it, and I'll read the question one more time for you. Because I know some of you are like, oh my God, I got to rewind. No, rewind is from my era. Anyways, you would have to go back over the question, but I'll just go ahead and read it for you one more time. A large business, Business X, less than 70% of the sales revenues come from any one business. And because some resources and activities that are needed to produce and sell products and services in different markets are shared across businesses, Business X is using what multi-product strategy? And again, the choices were related linked, related constrained, unrelated diversification, and dominant business. I have here in my notes, see figure 6.1 for additional assistance. All right, remember, give me not just an answer, but support for an answer. Okay, next question. Oh, pardon me, I shouldn't say question. Next part of the overall summary of the chapter. I have here executive managers. What's going on? Remember we talked about that earlier, right? Executive, you have your 3 levels management, right? You have your executive, your middle, and your first line. Executive managers could add diversification for selfish reasons. Interesting thought. Because according to your text, these executive managers realize that by diversifying, whether the company needs it or not, which I'm saying for the betterment of the company or not, so great of a benefit, the diversification, with their diversification, they, the executive managers, are less likely to be fired, to lose their jobs. So, the other side of that coin, though, is their leadership challenges overall increase when a firm diversifies beyond the level of a single business multi-product strategy. There's two sides of that pillow. True or false? It's up to a divisional manager or managers to ensure that their managers do not over diversify the organization. True or false? A little bit of Jeopardy music going on in the background. Do 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 do. Doom 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 doom. All right. So what do you think? Is the answer true or false? How many of you say false? Show of hands. Good for you. All right. It is false. It's up to the board of directors. M-form structure, multi-divisional structure, is an organizational structure in which the firm is organized to generate economies of scope and financial economies. We've touched on this ever so slightly on these two terms, so let's take a look at the definitions again. Economies of scope. Cost savings the firm accrues when it successfully shares some of its resource and activities between its businesses or transfers corporate level core competencies into its business. Where the financial economies definition, cost savings or higher returns generated when the firm effectively allocates its financial resources based on investments inside or outside the firm. So we have those two definitions. We saw with the M-form structure, that's an organizational structure in which the firm is organized to generate economies of scope or financial economies. All right, so that should be a nice tie-in for you. My next set of notes here. Pardon me. I always seem to have the sniffles. Huh? Okay, we're coming into the home stretch here for the review. SBU, according to the textbook, stands for Strategic Business Unit. So, a strategic business unit, M-form, is an organizational structure in which the corporate headquarter personnel try to transfer corporate level core competencies into the firm's business. And I have a note here to see figure 6.5 for further explanation and visual concerning that definition. So the SBU unit, M-form. I have here note, remember that a multi-divisional M-form means that the parent company owns smaller companies that use its brand name. And I got that from a great source, Wiki. Not always the most accurate, but in this case they were on the mark. So again, the multi-divisional M-form means that one parent company owns smaller companies that use its brand and name. And for the SBU, again, the Strategic Business Unit, this is a profit center which focuses on product and market segment. Corporation may be composed of multiple SBUs, each of which is responsible for its own profitability. And both Wiki and your text use General Electric as a great example of this type of business model. Take a look at the visual again provided for you in your text dealing with that particular model. The competitive multi-divisional M-form. These are firms employing the UDMS product strategy. The competitive M form is an organizational structure in which there is complete independence between the firm's divisions. So you can see the contrast going between the two that we just went over the last two. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was a good chapter. Lots of more terms and business and corporation terms that you need to become familiar with as we move forward. You'll be employing these, and I look forward to our next chapter review. You're again very welcome to get a hold of me if you'd like to have any further description or explanation dealing with any of these terms that we talked about, or if terms that we didn't get a chance to cover. If there's anything we didn't cover, please feel free to get a hold of me. As you know, I love students who are very proactive. It just shows that they're taking ownership, and so be that proactive student. Get with me. Occasionally we have to be reactive, but for the most part, let's be proactive. All right, until our next chapter, Jim out.